So I've been working away on the Lost River, the expanded Lost River map that will be coming out as DLC later this year. Lots and lots of details and refinements and adding dens and things like that. But here's one little thing I thought I'd capture some video about. This is a creek in the southwest part of the Lost River map. The creek is roughly done here, but I realized that there are no beaver dams, except for the big beaver dam upstream from town that's flooded Allison Acres. So I've been going in and creating little beaver ponds in various parts of the map. And here we go with one of them. I've already widened the creek here, as you can kind of see that outline. So let's zoom in here and start flattening it out. Flattening the creek bed out. Basically, this is the beavers built this in an area that was fairly shallow, and so when they dammed it, it flooded this little meadow area. That's what I'm doing now, is making the meadow that they then recognized and flooded with their dam to make their lodge there. Working with the terrain is kind of fun, but it's also kind of tedious because it always takes more time and fussing to get it just how you want it. So this is rather tedious to watch, so let's speed it up some. So beavers, of course, build these dams to create these ponds, which give them a safe zone from predators, whoever those might be, I wouldn't know, where they get in the water and have this nice watery buffer zone around them. Of course, they build these dams where there is food, willows or aspens mainly, nearby, but in creating this pond and flooding this area, make it more marshy, they actually encourage the growth of the very thing that they eat. I haven't gotten around to adding the aspens or the willows around here yet. That'll come later as I work more on the vegetation. Okay, so there we roughly have it. That's about the shape that I want. So let's bring in the beaver constructions, the dam and the lodge, and we'll pop the dam right down here. This is just the initial placement. That'll do for now. Stop up the water flow. Now it's too gradual coming down here, so let's deepen the area here a little bit where the water trickles through the dam and flows out below. And then I think we want the lodge to go right about here in the middle, of course. Nice big buffer zone. Did you know that beavers and wolves have one very important thing in common? They both live in family groups. For wolves, it's called packs. For beavers, it's called colonies. Fewer than 5% of all mammals live in such groups. So think about that next time a beaver's biting your neck. Now another problem is all these rocks going down the middle of the pond here. These are placed by another element of the waterway here. It's a vegetation and object mask, and that still is there. It doesn't know about the beaver pond that we've just created. So the green nodes here show the path of this mask, and basically I have to split the mask in half so I can delete the nodes that are where the pond is. And so go one by one, boom, 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 delete those nodes and get rid of those rocks. So that's about what we're going for here. There's going to be a lot of touch-up work here, but this roughs it out pretty well. Except that you might notice that water is going awfully fast for being dammed up in a beaver pond. And that's because the water shader we use doesn't know about slope. It goes the same speed, whatever it's set to go, whether the ground is flat or steep mountainside, it's all the same speed. However, I've just been talking to Lars, the shader programmer who created this water shader, and he is making us an improved shader that does take slope into account. So this is very helpful here in Lost River because, well, in the Yellowstone game maps, there's about 1,000-meter elevation range from the highest point to the lowest point. But in Lost River, because I like mountains, it's a 1,500-meter range, and that's almost 5,000 feet. And so the creeks start way higher in the mountains, and they have a lot of elevation to lose as they flow down toward the lowest points of the map. And so it's just becoming glaringly obvious to me that this speed issue was a problem. So here we have the new water shader. I've been tweaking it, still have more tweaking to do, I'm sure. But here we are. Let's run up and get up the slope here. We can see it's flowing pretty fast. There's a lot of foam. And then if we go back down to the beaver pond, it's moseying along. It's got to keep moving because it's got all that water coming down behind it, pushing it along. But it's moving a lot slower. And that's a much more reasonable speed for the beavers to swim around in. So after I finish this, at some point, I'm going to have to go back to the existing maps and bring in this new shader and fuss around with it. It'll also fix a couple other issues with seams in the waterways that I've had to put in there to have a slower water movement in the beaver ponds. So there's lots more cool stuff in Lost River, and I'm not going to show most of that in devblogs because I want it to be something to players discover once they get the map, which won't be for a while now still, but maybe the next devblog will take a look at downtown, so stay tuned.